Okay, so I want to talk today a little bit about psych meds and how much they can really help. I think it's important to note because, a lot of people think that medications are just given out willy-nilly and too freely, and they are, and to people who really don't need them, and they are. At the same time, there are people who have been helped who have sort of extreme symptoms, where the medication does help. Several years ago, I was suffering really bad with my OCD. At my worst, I was spending up to 10 hours a day on my OCD rituals. And it was mainly, scrubbing and washing and showering and the whole thing. But if I had to go somewhere, it would take me 10 hours to get ready. So needless to say, I didn't leave the house very much, on top of being agoraphobic. But anyway, so I went to receive treatment, and I started taking a drug called Paxil. And within a few short weeks, it really started to help. My obsessions became much less and less, and there was much less of a need to carry out my compulsions, to the point where it became a non-issue. And that was just taking the medications. It really, my OCD became a non-issue. And I can't thank the medications enough for that. That's a huge improvement from 10 hours a day to really, just a few little things here and there that I had to do in an OCD type of way. I think it's just important to note that because people do take medications, so they don't have to feel today. Well, we have to feel something some of the times, not everything can be happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. But that really was a turning point for me, and it changed my life around. I'm not at 100%, or not where I would like to be, but I'm so far from where from where I was, that it's really shown such a big improvement that I really, wanted to sort of tell everyone that, there is a good reason to use medications sometimes. Right now I am taking Prozac, which is an SSRI antidepressant, and that is what helps me the most. I am also on 2 antipsychotics, which are Abilify and Risperidol. And I also take Xanax XR, which is a benzodiazepine, and I would highly advise against taking benzodiazepines because they are highly addictive. And if you have to, even if you take the regular dosage of them, if you have to go off of them, it is extremely painful, mentally and physically, and can even be deadly. If you are on them, and want to go off of them, definitely, don't do it without your doctor's permission, and you have to do it gradually. Oh, that's another thing. You really need to be diagnosed properly. If you're not diagnosed properly, you can't possibly be put on the right medications. And then there's being put on the right medications, which is also difficult, because you have to find the ones that work for you and the ones that don't give you terrible side effects. And I find that once you've found the right medication cocktail for you, and it's usually more than one, it's usually several medications, the ones that work for you the best, it kind of can give you it can give you enough relief to where you can help yourself. So, I mean, I was definitely able to help myself more because I was able to see that I could improve. Where I felt so hopeless before. Hopeless because I was depressed, and hopeless because I was so caught up in my OCD rituals that I didn't realize that it wasn't a life sentence for me. When I took the medications and my symptoms subsided a little bit, I was able to realize that now I could take it even further than the medications have taken it. So therapy and things like that are another tool that you can use and should use, obviously, to better yourself. So that's a little bit of my experience with medications. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.